Started. I don't have anything.
Hello, good evening. If you would please take your seats. We would like to get started.
Please be seated. It is with great honor and is my privilege to welcome you to the 2018 Weekend Nursing Pinning Ceremony for the presentation of graduate professional nurse pins. Tonight's ceremony is a tradition within our profession and symbolizes the formal acceptance of these graduates into our nursing profession. In addition, it indicates the completion of entry-level nursing education and the beginning of lifelong professional education within their career. Our students have worked long and hard to be here tonight, and we are fortunate to have all of you with us. Please allow me to introduce to you the director of our weekend nursing program, Julie Soule.
Welcome. We will commence this afternoon's ceremony with a invocation by Sister Juliana.
Good evening. All of us have used pins under varying circumstances throughout our lives. Pins have made connections on materials. Pins saved the day when a button popped off. And there were pins that were very personal and heartwarming, such as a gift from a grandmother or a kindergartner's first attempt at one for Valentine's Day. Tonight's pinning ceremony captures the success of our graduating nurses. They have been held together by their families and friends, instructors and peers, as they will now celebrate receiving their pins. The moment is solemn, joyous, and a bit breathtaking. My prayer tonight is one of thanks. Thank you, families and friends, for your unwavering support. Thank you, instructors and mentors, for your guidance and encouragement. Thank you, nurses. Thank you, nurses, for embracing a career that is literally life-giving. Amen.
It is my great pleasure to introduce to you the president of Jefferson Community College, Dr. Ty Stone.
Good evening. Distinguished guests, faculty, family, friends, and students. Welcome to Jefferson Community College's nursing pinning ceremony. I am honored to be here celebrating this esteemed group of students as they start writing the first page of their journeys in the selfless profession of caring for and comforting others. Hard work and dedication to their calling is what got them to this point, and it is what will keep them doing the great work they will do throughout their careers. I would also add that this class, your class, is the largest group of weekend nursing scholars to graduate thus far. Thinking about 21 new nurses, many of whom will be working and serving this very community, makes me beam with pride over your accomplishments and Jefferson's ability to serve the community's healthcare needs. Graduates, up to now you have spent countless hours poring over the endless assignments and lessons and rotating through a variety of clinicals that were created by our faculty, all carefully designed to ensure your future success as a nurse. I'm sure there were long days and sleepless nights, as well as lots of smiles, and yes, even a few tears. You sacrificed a lot to get to this point, but you persevered and made it through. We all applaud you and your commitment to finishing what you started. Of course, this is not the end of your development into the extraordinary nurses you will become. There's much more work ahead, but you are well prepared with the skills and knowledge gleaned at Jefferson, combined with your own compassion and strength. Along with your families and friends that supported you to this point, please also remember that you have all of us here at Jefferson Community College cheering you on as well. We will always be a part of your extended family, and we are always here for you should you need us. Go on to do great things, nursing graduates. We all salute you.
Choosing our keynote speaker was a difficult task. We have so many wonderful instructors, professors, and mentors throughout these 2 years. Each of you have shared so much knowledge with us. You have molded us into the nurses we hope to become, but we could not choose all of you. When we finally sat and voted for our speaker, Julie was a constant name. Julie was raised in upstate New York, graduating from Sandy Creek Central School. She attended Syracuse University, where she received her Bachelor's of Science degree in nursing. When her youngest son started college, she enrolled in SUNY Upstate Medical University College of Nursing and obtained her Master's of Science in Nursing as a clinical nurse specialist with a minor in education. In addition to providing direct patient care in the medical surgical nursing, telemetry, coronary care, intensive care, and emergency nursing, Julie served in both educator and nurse manager roles over the course of her career. In 2011, she became the director of the weekend nursing option at Jefferson Community College. Julie has 2 amazing sons, Matthew, whose wife is Jennifer, and Andrew, wife Leah, as well as 4 fabulous grandchildren, Ryan, Avery, Reese, and Reed. Julie has been with us since our first day in the weekend nursing program. I can say that she has probably seen most of our ugly cry faces. Julie has always been there with advice and love for us. She was constantly rooting us on. Even when we didn't think we could make it, she knew we would. For that, we can never thank you enough. We love you. Julie, we were so blessed to have you. You've built us a great foundation as nurses for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Giselle. Good afternoon, and welcome to the 8th Jefferson Community College Weekend Nursing Pinning Ceremony. There are several to thank for this magnificent occasion. I would like to start by thanking the good Lord above for his blessings. I would next extend a very special thank you to the United States military. It is because of each of you that we get to do what we do. Anyone who knows me, I have always had the utmost respect for the military personnel, and this respect was actually magnified significantly when I recently attended the Air Force Basic Training graduation in San Antonio, Texas. I'm tremendously proud of my 19-year-old great-nephew for graduating basic training and becoming an airman. I would like to ask all past and present servicemen and women to please stand so that we may give you a heartfelt round of applause and sincere thanks. Thanks to each and every one of you. A little bit off script, but I do need to tuck in. Each year after the students graduate, I ask them to please honestly tell me if you had to do basic training or nursing school over again, which one would you choose? In my 7 years here, not one has said they would do nursing again. I also need to thank each of you for being here today and for sharing your loved one with us for the last 2 years, every other Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as they have completed the rigorous JCC nursing curriculum. To Jefferson Community College, the Board of Trustees, our administration, faculty, professional and support staff, facilities, security, IT, and all who have contributed to make this day possible, our most sincere thank you. I also need to thank my fabulous family and friends. They keep me grounded, surrounded with love. I am very blessed to have 3 of them here with me this afternoon. Last but certainly not least, in honor of this ceremony, my heartfelt thanks to you, the graduating class of 2018, weekend nursing students. Your hard work, determination, dedication, sacrifices have gotten you to this point, prepared to take the Registered Nurse Professional NCLEX, National Council Licensure Examination. Nursing is identified, by the way, as the most honest and ethical profession year after year in surveys by of the American public. Congratulations, you did it. I am deeply honored to have been asked to be your keynote speaker. This is rather amazing to me, as they have graciously listened to me for multiple semesters. So it was a bit of a curiosity that you would want to hear me one last time. After my initial surprise, and they got me. As I believe each of them will tell you, I'm rather strict about being on time. So with only a few seconds actually left before it was lecture start time, 3 students were absent. When those 3 students came in, just as time for class to start, and presented me with the most beautiful bouquet ever and asked me to be their keynote speaker, I was speechless. Any of you who know me, that doesn't happen very often. It became clear to me in a very short time how blessed I am to be asked to deliver your parting message from JCC Nursing. What I would like to leave you with is that you have a unique opportunity as you step forth into the busy, demanding, exciting, sometimes frustrating, often emotionally and physically draining, challenging, and ultimately deeply rewarding role of becoming a registered nurse. You have the ability to make the difference. Please note, I did not say make a difference. I said make the difference. You have watched babies enter the world. You have held their hands as patients have taken their last breath as they leave this world. And you've seen everything in between. As a registered nurse, you will be there for them. I know of no greater honor nor greater responsibility. So number 1, please start with the golden rule. Treat others as you would hope to be treated, have your loved ones treated, and somehow when you do that, the rest will work out. The rest just falls into place. I'd like to share a quick story about when I was the manager of the adult emergency department in a level 1 trauma center prior to coming here. One of my triage nurses shared with me a story. It was a very busy afternoon, and if any of you have been to the emergency department, that's not always that much fun. There's something going on, and it is very busy, chaotic. So it was a very busy Friday afternoon, and David, my RN, was in triage when I'm not sure if he was 94 or 97, but a distinguished elderly gentleman presented to the triage room, and he had driven himself to the hospital. After the initial paperwork and assessment was completed, David asked the gentleman to just sit in the triage room because to have some privacy because it's very, very crowded, chaotic, and busy. So rather than try to find a seat, David asked him to wait with him because there was no one waiting next to be triaged. So as a conversation topic, David said to the gentleman, "You've lived a very long life." He said, "You must have seen a lot in your life. What is the most significant thing that you have ever seen?" And the gentleman said, "Well, no one's ever asked me that before." I will need to think about it. So as he was thinking, David shared with me, David was thinking World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, flight, skyscrapers, automobiles, and just going on and on about all the things that the gentleman had seen in his 94 to 97 years. So it was, as well as the explosion of technology. It was quite a bit of shock, he said, after a few minutes when the gentleman eventually responded, and he said, the way that people treat each other, that's pretty significant. As registered nurses, you have the opportunity to treat others as you would like to be treated. Secondly, you need to find balance. And I laugh, after they finished their final on Tuesday, we had practice, they're like, now what do I do? They've been busy for 2 solid years. One of my very significant mentors once said to me, Julie, you have to take care of yourself in order to be able to take care of others. And she was correct. As I previously stated, the demands of the profession are very high. There's a strong chance that you will be called in once you achieve your orientation every day. Can you come to work? Can you come to work? Sometimes they call your home when you're at work, no disrespect to our Samaritan administration, to try and get coverage to see if you can come, and that is because they want to take care of their patients. So you need to set parameters. Give what you can give. Make sure you save some of yourself for you and your loved ones. Lastly, make competent, compassionate care your passion. Nursing is a profession where you get to learn something new every single day. Go out there and make that difference. Make the difference. One patient, one person at a time. Always be a patient advocate, a team player. Never take away hope. Always be honest. Be the very best RN that you can be. I could not be prouder of each and every one of you. I am truly blessed to have gotten to know and work with you. I wish you the absolute best in both your personal and your professional lives. I am truly going to miss you. Take care. Love you to the moon. Congratulations. Next, we will actually be presenting our awards. So we would ask that Dr. Marie Hess please come to the podium.
When the weekend program had its first graduating class, my sister and I thought it would be fitting to recognize a graduate in memory of our parents, Donald and Madeline Hess. So this award is given to an individual selected by the nursing faculty who exemplifies leadership, compassionate patient care, and a love for the nursing profession. I am very pleased to recognize Giselle Brooks.
Next, I would ask, please, that Wendy Seaver, Assistant Nurse Manager, and Mrs. Kim Smith, Nurse Manager from Samaritan Medical Center, please come to the podium to present the Samaritan Medical Center Heart Award.
Congratulations, fellow nurses. The heart values at Samaritan Medical Center exemplify our commitment to creating a culture that values excellent and patient care and services. Samaritan's continued commitment to a theory-driven nursing practice is evidenced by our integration of Gene Watson's caring theory. The caring theory provides the nurse a compass to demonstrate the heart values. HEART stands for honesty, empathy, accountability, respect, and trust. The caring theory guides the nurses in fulfilling these values. The student chosen by the faculty for this award clearly and consistently demonstrates the caring characteristics of the heart values. That caring is more than providing physical care and fulfilling assigned tasks. That caring is an integral part of everything the nurse does, and that this is the intention of the nurse. That a caring and healing environment is the foundation of exceptional nursing care. That listening to what the patient and the family desires, in addition to what they need, finds meaning in what they do. This recipient of the Samaritan Heart of Nursing Award for 2018 goes to Melody Gilbert.
Mrs. Cassandra Woodrick Phillips will present the Marion Brennan Personal Growth in Nursing Award.
The Marion Brennan Personal Growth in Nursing Award was established in 2003 to recognize a graduating student who has demonstrated outstanding growth in character, personal development, and skills while pursuing a nursing degree at Jefferson Community College. The award is given in honor of Marion Brennan, a 1973 graduate of Jefferson's nursing program. Mrs. Brennan earned her degree at the age of 53 after raising 9 children. As a registered nurse, Mrs. Brennan worked at Carthage Area Hospital until her retirement from the position of head nurse in the maternity department, where she also serves as a Lamaze instructor. Mrs. Brennan believed that one should value each person's worth, treating everyone with respect and inspiring each to do their best. Education is all a person lacks to become the best that they can be. Mrs. Brennan passed away on January 2nd, 2003. She certainly would be pleased to know that in her memory, a nurse's achievement will be recognized. The Jefferson Community College Nursing Department and the Jefferson Community College Foundation are grateful to the family of Marion Brennan for establishing this award in memory of this outstanding nurse. This year's recipient of the Marion Brennan Personal Growth in Nursing Award goes to Eric Clowen.
Desiree Fuller will present the Mercy Hospital School of Nursing Alumni Award, and I would like to note that Desiree won this award herself at her own Jefferson Community College pinning.
The Mercy Hospital School of Nursing Alumni Award was established to honor a graduating senior who exemplifies the tradition of the Mercy Hospital School of Nursing. This tradition is based on the mission of Catherine McCauley, founder of the Sisters of Mercy, to care for the sick and the poor. The School of Nursing, which closed in 1970, embodied the values of the Sisters of Mercy of Excellence, caring, and service to the sick. It is these values that we recognize tonight. I am honored to be here tonight to present this award on behalf of the Mercy Hospital School of Nursing alumni to the most deserving graduate. This year's recipient of the Mercy Hospital School of Nursing Alumni Award goes to Priscilla A. Champion.
We will now enjoy the class reflections by Eric Klain, and following that, the slideshow presentation for the weekend nursing class of 2018.
All right. Good evening, friends, family, distinguished guests, and those of you watching from home. Thank you for being here and being part of this celebration, this culmination of one of the hardest journeys that we as individuals and as a group have been through these past couple of years. Cue the music. Take a second and try to remember what you were thinking about the person you were here to see on this glorious night, and how many times you questioned what they were doing, what they had to complain about, or the magnitude of the work that was expected and required of them, and understand that you are here because you were part of that journey and this moment, this culmination and this celebration of that journey. This is what it was for, and we as a class want to say thank you. Thank you for the push. Thank you for the shoulder to cry on. Thank you for the encouragement that there was light at the end of the tunnel, because we have reached that light, and it has been one heck of a journey. That light at the end of this tunnel was a spark, better yet a flicker, for us a few years back. And we have since started that fire and stoked it and kept it going to be where we are today in this very auditorium. That flicker started for some of us with the first letter of acceptance into nursing school, and for some of us, it was a re-acceptance letter that came when we thought all hope was lost. It starts with a math test that required a grade of 100 without a calculator. And this was math that had both letters and numbers. We come from all different walks of life, where some of us have never felt a North Country winter, taken a blood pressure, or knew anything about the nursing process, and we were deemed novice on the scale of being a student. As we progressed out of that stage, we worked our way up through the critical element testing. We are tested on the areas of focus that we will be presented with, and it was one of our first experiences with discomfort and unease in nursing school. Well, we made it through that, and we started to slowly work our way onto the floor at the Samaritan Keep Home, where we started to experience patient care for the first time for some of us. As we transitioned from each area of the hospital to the next, it was with a whole new set of paperwork, a whole new level of assignments and responsibilities, and a whole new level of believing what the human body and mind can handle after each milestone we passed as students. Stress is the sixth vital sign. Just ask any of us on the morning of clinical. As family members stood by and watched us stay up most of the night as we prioritized what is the most important for our patients, we found ourselves in a dark classroom next with someone telling us to envision the beach or smell the flowers and blow out the candles. Welcome to maternity, where our nursing instructor said to us she did things a little different, and I confirmed that she truly does. And we got to experience maternity, and we learned from it. And after that, for some of us in this group, this is where this group came together. But for some of us, it was one of our last milestones for the time being. Ask any nurse who went through the JCC nursing program about the third semester. And then listen to them carefully for tips and pointers on how they were able to get through it successfully, because that's what we do as a family. Some of this group started that third semester of nursing school and were unsuccessful and thought it was the end of the journey or the end of the road, but it wasn't. While we started that third semester, some of us had the pleasure of adding pharmacology course to our already full plate. But hey, that's nursing. This group all came together at that time, and it was a challenge. Some of us had friends who were graduating. Some of us had already had our former classmates graduate, and here we were back in the classroom all over again with a new group, primed and nervous to do it all over again. Now, being the only male in this class has its benefits. For example, there's never a line at the restroom. And that's where that list ends for me. I had the privilege of being able to watch this class grow for the past year, and I've watched us grow just a hair closer than we were that first weekend when we started. And that is progress. If you were there, that's progress. So back to the journey, back to the med-surg floor, and 2 patients, long nights, early mornings, and another loop on the emotional roller coaster of nursing school. And after we got off that ride, we got on the next roller coaster, which was psych, where we not only dealt with our own emotions and feelings, we got to deal with our patients as well. We learned how to do psych role play and take long van and car rides up to Ogdensburg for the inaugural class to attend some clinicals at St. Lawrence Psychiatric Center. We made it through psych at both St. Lawrence and Samaritan. And on a positive note and somewhat surprising note, at least from my seat, they let us all leave. And while we did have a lot of fear at the beginning of psych, we all left with a positive feeling. Excuse me, somebody's calling. We all left with a positive feeling and gained knowledge of its importance in the nursing process, and I believe we are all better for that. We got our new calendars upon completion of psych, and while it may have seemed distant, this very date, our pinning was in it, and that flicker was a little bit brighter, but it was still going, and we were still stoking it as best we could. Now that we all knew about feelings, it was time for the final chapter in this journey. We spent more hours in the van, and this time it was on our journey south to Upstate Medical Center for our rotation in pediatrics and the introduction to a new facility, new people, new personalities, and most importantly, new experiences. We learned the importance and difference of nursing in the community with our clinical experiences outside of the hospital, and while we all gained more knowledge and experience, we remained teachable. So when we started this journey a couple years ago, they told us by the end of this we would be one big happy family, and I can stand up here and tell you that we are. We are one big, happy, dysfunctional family. We have our own little tribes and our siblings that we hang out with and we gravitate towards, and that's a given with such a collection of unique people. We tried to mesh and we tried to coexist, and at times it was tested. But we as a group, we persevered and we survived. Tecumseh was a Shawnee Indian warrior and a chief who organized and tried to get all the local tribes to combine their strength and unite as one with one common goal. The common goal in mind was unity amongst the tribes with the greater good as the big picture. So all 21 of us from our own little tribes, both now and previously, have come together and reached that goal and reached that pinnacle, which was merely a spark at the beginning of this journey, and it ends with us holding that flame that we fought for as a group and as individuals, with our tribe and without. From rehabilitation and med-surg to feelings and psych, from childbirth and maternity to the end-of-life care at the Keep Home, from SLPC to Upstate, wherever this journey started for you, tonight is the culmination of all that work. All the tears, all the coffee, all the donuts, all the early mornings, all the late nights, all the selfies, all the waiting for Eric, all the attempts to quiet Liz down, all of the test anxiety coupled with all the quiz anxiety. And when it comes to your emotions about this journey, feel free to select all that apply. Tecumseh had a vision of unity amongst the tribes, and tonight, as we bring a close to this journey, we are forever united as having completed this roller coaster, this mission, this journey, and this adventure together as one. So to all my classmates and to all of you in attendance here tonight, he also said this, and this is one of my favorite quotes. He said, "So live your life that the fear of death can never enter your heart. Trouble no one about their religion, respect others in their view, and demand that they respect yours. Love your life, perfect your life, beautify all things in your life. Seek to make your life long as its purpose in the service of your people. Prepare a noble death song for the day when you go over the great divide. Always give a word or a sign of salute when meeting or passing a friend or a stranger when in a lonely place. Show respect to all people and grovel to none. When you arise in the morning, give thanks for the food and for the joy of living. If you see no reason for giving thanks, the fault lies only in yourself. Abuse no one and no thing, for abuse turns the wise ones to fools and robs the spirit of vision. When it comes your time to die, be not like those whose hearts are filled with fear of death, so that when their time comes, they weep and pray for a little more time to live their lives over again in a different way. Sing your death song and die like a hero going home." I'd like to thank you all for being a part of this journey with us and for being with us here tonight and throughout this entire journey. Thank you.
That was very nicely done. Thank you so much. I would like to again thank our Board of Trustees, our administration, and at this time I would like to introduce our nursing faculty that are present with us this evening. First of all, our department chair, Dr. Marie Hess. Our lab director, Mark Barrow. Our freshman and senior and kind of whatever we need, Mrs. Katie Hoistjen. Our also freshman maternity and whatever we need, Mrs. Kimberly Honeywell. Our maternity instructor, Mrs. Cassandra Woodrick Phillips. And we could not run this program without our adjuncts. We are blessed to have Dr. Deborah Marcella, Desiree Fuller, Erin Finney, Carol Langtree, Shannon Phillips. There are others, but unfortunately they are at an event that was a sad event and are not able to be here with us this evening. It is at this time I'm very excited to present the graduate nurse pins to our graduating class. I will now introduce to you each graduating nurse receiving their graduate pins, starting with Mrs. Hoistjen. Thank you, Angel. Yours is on the right. Thank you. Natalie Dick. Courtney Ellis. Melody Gilbert. Ruth Ramirez. Miranda Santos. Next, I would ask Miss Erin Finney to please come to this podium. Catherine Biondolillo. Alyssa Crandall. Hannah Guyette. Katie Kaiser. Eric Klain. Ashley Mattis. Susan Morrow. Elizabeth Slager. And Desiree Fuller. Priscilla, a champion. Georgiana Baker. Giselle Brooks. Brittany Taylor Campbell. Jonisha Davis. Suzanne Evans. Colette Herrera. Sharin McLaughlin. Wait for it. I present to you the graduate nurses of Jefferson's weekend class of 2018. I would ask Sister Raymond to conclude with tonight's benediction.
Blessings abound. Nurses, your journeys will be marked by the way you share your gifts. The journey at Jefferson Community College presented many circumstances where you turned challenges into opportunities. Life is like that. Embrace those challenges and keep learning. Our world awaits your gifts. Amen.
I would ask that you please remain seated until the graduates have exited the theater, and we hope that you will please join us for refreshments in the Commons. Everyone is invited to attend, and thank you again for joining us.